Hi, we're going to talk about language today. I know I have given you other hints about language. However, I would like to give you some more. Okay? Remember Harry in that video about language? I used to say to Chris, "No, that's Harry's," and there was no Harry. And then I would feed him the line, "But Mom, there is no Harry." Eventually, that caught on. So the other day we're futzing around here, and Chris, funny guy, he made me dinner because I had to teach him to cook, because that's another requisite of being able to be independent. Besides, he likes cooking. My girlfriend Phyllis Shore used to come to my house and cook a lot, and he got interested because she was in the kitchen. It was a different person. See, so when your child gets impressed or connected with a different person, please allow that wonderful unity to develop, because the more that he can develop unity and connection with other people, he can eventually have a connection with you and other people. So anyway, he cooked some hamburgers, and I was really, happy, and some noodle stuff, and he threw that together for dinner, and I went into the kitchen, and I said, "Oh, which plate is mine?" He pointed to the one plate, and he said, "Well, that's mine." And he pointed to the second plate, and he said, "But that's Harry's." Well, the joy. So I said in return, "Chris, there is no Harry." And we both laughed. Let's talk about the language in a little more depth. Christopher had started to develop echolalia, which means perseverating, repeating one word or a group of words. And what I did was I gave him stuff to memorize, and it seems to me that the more that I did that, the more that he lost the perseveration in the echolalia. So, like when he dressed up as George Washington for Halloween, oh, there he is now, for Halloween, I think he memorized the preamble to the Constitution. So each person that he saw, they'd say, "Oh, nice costume, Chris." He said the preamble to the Constitution over and over. By the day that was ended, he was tired of saying the preamble to the Constitution. Then, let's see. Oh, I remember also. There was a little ditty that goes, "Who's got the best on something?" It was like da 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 da. So I used to use it as, "Who's got the best darn kid in the universe? Christopher Carl Gagliardi's mommy." Because I introduced the mommy, the mother, aspect of life in different ways to my son, so he would eventually see the whole picture of who mommy was and connect. The medicine, let's see now. The reason that I kept sticking in there and hanging on was to, help him understand, or to get him ready for one day so that he would be able to tell somebody, "No, you can't take my home away from me. No, you can't give me medicine unless you give me a good reason why I'm taking it. No, you cannot do that to me." And to have that at least sense of independence. Anyway, communication is the key anyway. So well, think about it. Really think about communication, and think about, if you didn't have it, what would you do? you'll be in a little box somewhere, totally ripped away from anything, anybody. I think even gestures, because I started out a little bit with sign language. I know he wasn't looking at me, but if he looked in a mirror sometimes and I was in the background, he would pay attention to the background. He may not have seen in the mirror about himself, but he did do the background. Let's see. I've got some notes down here because I don't want to go off track about language and how our children develop. Christopher, for some time, was an illusion. People thought he was much, much more together than he actually was. That's why he got 2 little scholarships to go to college when he graduated when he was 21. However, he emotionally and socially was not equipped to do that. But I sent him to see if that would happen. And because Christopher didn't evolve a lot until, and I say that very cautiously, but to evolve of himself till he was 9 years old, it's like he was 9 years in back of socialization stuff and some even acknowledgement of age for himself. Let's see. I'm sorry. Again, back to the language. I know some of you who have autistic children may be looking at me and saying, I have nothing to complain about or nothing to, stab about. However, there is so much more that my child needs. So that when I leave here, he doesn't regress. We'll all look at our own situations and sometimes we think we can't relate to one another. But everything is relative. Everything is relative. It is so difficult for all of us to get this new wave of autistic people in our lives. Well, you know what? It's here. And unless we pick up the ball and the responsibility for our children and those other children, this world is never going to have enough room for all of us. It's important. Every single thing we do with our children, whether they're autistic or not, creates the development of a human being. And that's the bottom line. All of our children are human beings. And they deserve the best we can give them. I'll see you soon. Take all my love, and I'll take yours and put it in my book. Thank you.